Welcome guys to AV Atmos. As you guys already know on this channel, I'm a Marvel fan and as well as a comic book fan, and I love DC with all my soul. I love every comic. I've been a passionate comic book lover for so many years, and I've followed every franchise there is to follow in the comic book genre, from the smallest to the largest. And today I'm going to review Joker. I saw it in theater a few hours ago, and I was going into this movie feeling like I'm going to not like it, considering I am more or less the traditional comic book lover, more or less to go there, watch superheroes or villains do their thing, kill bad people or kill people, and go out. But at least I knew this movie was going to be dramatic, and I was very, very, very impressed. Now, this movie is definitely, let me put it like this movie is more or less a movie to teach people how to deal with people in life, especially people that a lot of people in the society that we live in today do not know how to treat people, and more or less the attitude drives so many people to this brink of madness. A lot of people do not know how to handle the situation around some people, and the people they do things to tend to spiral out of control, especially if they are not handled carefully by people around them. So Joker is more or less like that. Tells the story of Arthur Fleck as he goes through his daily life. He's trying to build his stand-up comedian business, and going through hobbles and bad people in Gotham that aren't treating him right, people that do not respect him, they beat him up. I don't want to give you guys spoilers, but it's more or less just showing you guys how, or more or less what happens when you put a crazy dude in a crazy society, what ends up happening. So it's a slow burn of a method, it's kind of like a slow burn of how a crazy person goes from a much more let me just say a stable state into a full blown out psychotic mass murdering personality in general. Now, the tech specs for this movie is it's 122 minutes long. The aspect ratio for this movie you're getting is 190:1. So when it's coming out on Blu-ray, it's going to be full screen. From even in theaters, I noticed that from the aspect ratio in the theater. So you're getting full screen when you're getting this in digital release. The sound mix is Atmos. It's actually Atmos, but I just heard it in regular 7.1 surround sound in my theater, and it was shot in 3.4K, 4.5K, and 5K. So it's shot with a variety of different cameras, and the digital intermediary for this film is 4K. So when it's on disc, you're getting a 4K DI. Now, as for visuals, I would say that it is colorful, very colorful, vibrant, and it has this gritty old 80s look to it. So it's not like your typical modern comic book movie that has more or less this flashy let's say more modern feel, but this gives you more or less an 80s 70s feel. The backgrounds look a little bit old, and I kind of like it. It gives you that sensation of the build of Gotham. The whole technological advancement that we have right now wasn't in the movie, so it kind of like is telling you what happened before Bruce Wayne became Batman, and Bruce Wayne was in the film. I'm not going to go into detail how he starred in the film or what role he was, but he was in the film, his parents were in the film, and his parents played a larger role to the psychotic outburst of Joker throughout the movie. So I'll probably say there is a very big relationship between Joker and Bruce Wayne throughout the movie, even though Bruce Wayne wasn't really the centerpiece of the entire movie. Now, the takeaways I got from this film is more or less the fact that people should be aware of how to treat people in the society, because there is a lot of crazy shit going in the society. A lot of people are crazy. A lot of people go out there and do crazy things, murder people. They do some weird crazy thing. I for one know that I'm not like a saint, but I see a lot of things wrong in the society, and Joker had a way to show it in this 2 hours runtime of a film, showing you how bad the society can turn a working good man into a monster. And now, was the attitude of the how will I put it, the society in which he lived in valid, or was it the right thing that could put him on the path of killing people or becoming a mass murderer? I would say yes, it's justifiable. You see, guys, let me put it this way. People have a way they receive, how will I put it, information. Now, the way I see life on a daily basis would totally be different from the way someone else sees life every day. Now, if I go out every day and somebody punches me on the face, I'm not going to be happy, definitely. If I go out the next day, the same thing happens, it continues happening repeatedly, it's going to get to a point that I'm going to want to stab that person with a bloody knife. And you may want to kill that person that keeps punching you every day on the street. And not only that, the person punches you on the street, you get home, somebody else punches you at home, or maybe gets you upset at home. You always this guy that tries to put up a cute face when you're beating up all the time, and you're not always a happy person. So Joker gives you that presentation of an unhappy society trying to drive, or drove him to madness entirely, and showed you how a little bit of love could have kind of like stop this whole pathway that he had to go through to the psychotic stage of being a mass murderer. Maybe if people were a little bit nice to this guy wouldn't have gone out to kill a lot of people. And to a degree, I kind of like what he did throughout the movie. And in fact, let me even say this before I end this video. Joker wasn't violent enough. Honestly, a lot of people are complaining, or at least the weirdos online complaining that Joker is a violent movie, don't take kids out. Yeah, kids shouldn't see this movie. I'm not endorsing it for kids, but I would say this: with the kind of action or trailer movies I've seen this year, entirely throughout this year alone, based on 2019, I would say Joker is not even in the top 10 most violent movie this year. In fact, I was actually looking for more violence in this movie. This movie was more or less a drama for the most an hour and a half. Maybe the violence in the entire movie, maybe I'll just say less than 10 minutes or 15 minutes max. So I didn't get a feel of violence that I would even want. If I really wanted the kind of Joker film that I envisioned that I should get. Joker, honestly, guys, I would say violence in this film is really not a problem. Anybody that is saying this movie is violent is probably maybe somebody that maybe doesn't watch John Wick, or maybe the person has not watched Triple Frontier or Triple Threat from earlier this year. Somebody that hasn't watched even Brightburn. Honestly, the body counts in Brightburn almost rivals, if not even has more body count than what I saw in Joker. Most of the horror movies, okay, let's limit it to comics this year. Spider-Man had more body counts. Avengers Endgame had more body counts. Captain Marvel had more body counts than Joker. So I really do not get why people are complaining and saying that Joker had a lot of violence. Yeah, I can understand the violence. It's a little bit gory, especially the way he kills people. I can get it. It's an R-rated movie, so it's going to be pronounced the way he kills someone. But saying that is the most violent film or too violent, it is not a violent movie. This movie didn't even have half the body count John Wick 3 had this year. Sorry, John Wick 3 had this year. So honestly, this movie is not too violent in my estimation. As for my overall rating, I'm giving this movie a solid 7 out of 10. It's a must watch. Is it worthy of an Oscar for Joaquin Phoenix? Yeah, for the acting, for the most part. But I would probably say there are some other movies that I've seen this year that had more dramatic appeal to my person. And I'm not talking about action films now. I'm just talking about drama movies in general that I would pick. Maybe movies like Peel, Perfect Date. There are other dramatic movies. I can go into that later. But I can tell you guys there are other dramatic movies that I've seen this year that I could say, okay, yeah, those ones are Oscar worthy. But nonetheless, Joaquin Phoenix was fantastic in this movie. His acting was 10 over 10. Everything about the movie was shot well. Acting was superb. The only reason why it's 7 is because it didn't have the level of violence that I would want for a comic book movie. It didn't have, let me just put it, maybe it's not a full comic book movie in general. That's the regular comic book movie. So I'm just going to sway that down to 7, which kind of like is great, but still I have my reservations for what I would have wanted if I really wanted a full Joker movie. But this movie is a fantastic movie, and I recommend it every day, anytime, for anybody. From now till it's out of theater. It's an amazing movie. Go out there and see it, and follow us on social media. Subscribe to our channel. I'll bring you guys more review like this, and see you guys next time.